everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am back with another video, and this time we're going to be doing a fill on this extra long set of nails. So of course, the first thing that we're doing is just going in and filing down the acrylic on this nail. That way whenever I soak it off, it's going to be really fast and simple. And then for the rest of the nails, we're just going to go in and remove the gel polish. We're going to do that on all of the nails, and then after that we can move on to the next step. And then as always, I am using a safety extra coarse drill bit. You want to make sure that for filing down acrylic or gel polish that this is the one that you're using, because since it is pretty coarse, it's able to remove that gel polish and acrylic really quickly. But since it's a safety one, you don't have to worry about cutting anybody because it is coarse. You know, again, you're not going to be able to cut anyone with this one unless you're just really reckless. But other than that, you should be pretty safe. Alrighty, so after we finish removing the gel polish, we're going in with a cuticle pusher and we're just pushing back those cuticles. As always, this is going to expose the new growth and help with reducing lifting. So remember, for this part, you could use whether it's a metal cuticle pusher, or plastic, or wood, as long as it can be disinfected, or thrown away. So now we're going in with a 180 sanding band to remove the shine from the natural nail, and I'm using the Scarlet Nail Drill by Melody Susie, and I'm using it at 5,000 RPMs. And remember, y'all, when we're doing this part, we're literally just removing the shine. We're not filing to thin the nails down, none of that. We're literally just removing the shine. Our body produces a lot of oils, that's why our nails are shiny, so we just have to go in there and gently remove the shine. Of course, we just go around the cuticle area from the right side all the way over to the left side, back and forth until you've gotten rid of all the shine. And then also, you know, after you're done with this, just kind of step back for a few seconds and look at the nails, and if you see any little shiny spots, then of course go in and file wherever you need to. But again, I'm going at 5,000 RPMs with the Melody Susie Scarlet Nail Drill. And then after this, we're going to replace that nail that's broken. So of course, measuring to make sure that you get the correct size tip, making sure that it goes from sidewall to sidewall. After that, we apply the glue, place the nail down, holding it down for a few seconds, and then after this we're going to measure it against the other nail, and then we're going to cut it down to the same length, and then we're going to shape it up. So of course we already have that coffin shape, so we're going to go in at a 90-degree angle on both sides in the free edge. But before I do that, I'm going to go in with the straight edge nail clipper. Remember, it does have to be a straight edge to where the top is flat. But then after that, we go in with the 100 nail file to shape up the nail. So again, 90-degree angle on the sides and the free edge as well, y'all. The way you hold your file is really, really important. You want to hold it super straight, that way you get the perfect shape. Also blending the nail tip right in the middle, and then after this we're going to dust the nails off, and then we can start applying the acrylic. So I'm going to be using my JC Beauty Concepts acrylic system. So I'm going in with the dehydrator and the primer as well. The dehydrator just gets rid of any of the oils that might have been left on the nail. Maybe you touched the nail while you were filing or something, so it just get rid of any extra oils, and then the primer just helps the acrylic adhere better to the natural nail. Now we're going in with the JC Beauty Concepts clear acrylic. I'm also going to be using an orange, and then I'm also going to be using like an off-white color. So as you can see, for this one, I'm just going to go ahead and do all clear because this nail is going to be blinked out. Some nails are going to be like the marble with the off-white color and the orange, and then one is going to be all orange, and I think that's pretty much it. But again, this one we're just doing all clear. Remember that when you're doing this, you're basically just filling in the back, but then also you want to make sure that, as always, you look at the nail from different angles to make sure that you don't have any bumps and lumps, and also, of course, most importantly, that you have a nice apex. So for this one, we're going to go ahead and just fill the back in with the clear, and then this one is going to be one of the marble ones, so we're going to do the orange and the white. So first I'm going to go in with just a little bit of the off-white color underneath, and then I'm going in with the orange, just applying it randomly on the nail, and then just doing the off-white color in between that orange, and just alternating between the two colors. Once you have it looking, you know how you want it to look, we're going to go in there and encapsulate this with the JC Beauty Concepts Clear. As you guys know, I've been loving their products a lot lately. I've been using them on all of my clients because it's just so much easier to work with. And I didn't notice how much easier it is to work with until I used the Mia Secret Pink the other day, and I noticed how much runnier it was. So I definitely am glad that I switched over because I can tell how I was able to cut back on my time. I'm able to work a little bit faster, I guess I could say, with the JC Beauty Concepts because I'm not having to keep adding, because the JC Beauty Concepts, it kind of builds its thickness a little bit quicker because it's not as runny. But anyways, I forgot to mention that, as always, my brush that I'm using is my number 10 Alpha brush. As you guys know, they are my all-time favorite brushes. I love them. So I will be sure to leave that down below. So same thing for this one. We're going to go ahead and, of course, do the clear over the entire nail since this is the one that we had to replace. So we're just going to do the clear, and then after this, we're going to go in and just do, I think this one's all orange. No, actually, it's going to be the same thing as the ring finger. So again, I'm just doing the off-white color underneath, just a really thin layer. We don't want too much on there, just enough to where it kind of give us that cloudy look. And then we're going in with the orange, and then I'm going to add more white in between and then encapsulating. Remember, especially with these long nails, you do want to make sure that you focus on your apex and your thickness at the tip. I mean, you have to do that anyways with any other set, but with this one, you really have to focus because, you know, with them being super, super long, you don't want them to break off the same day or the day after, because they will. So anytime you see me lifting up her nail, that's me checking the nail to see if I have enough acrylic on the tip, if I need to add more around the cuticle area, in the middle, wherever. And you just go back in and add it. That's why I always say, you know, you can either stick to a certain method or just watch what you're doing and just add acrylic where it's needed. Don't just keep adding, keep adding, keep adding, and not actually looking at your nail to see where you need to add more. Alrighty, so for the index finger, I'm gonna just fill in the back with the clear. And the reason why I always make sure that there is clear underneath whenever I'm doing colored acrylic is that way whenever she comes back for a feel, if she wants to do a different, of course, you know, she's not gonna want to keep the same design that she already had, so she's gonna want something different. So I can just easily file away the colored acrylic, kind of like how we filed away the gel polish. We can just easily do that, and then we don't have to do a whole new set. I know there's a lot of people out there that starts applying the acrylic right onto the tip, like the fake tip, without adding anything underneath. And you know, I'm not saying that that's the wrong way to do it, but it's just a lot easier this way. I know some people do it that way because then you can charge for a, you know, for a soak off and then plus another full set. But honestly, it's not healthy for your client to keep getting a full set every time that she comes, because that means that you're having to file the shine from their nail each time, and eventually their nail is going to become really thin and just weak. So that's why I just like doing it this way. But as always, whatever works for you is completely fine. But that's why I always do clear underneath. But again, after we get a good coverage of this orange, we're going to go in with the clear and just encapsulating to make sure that whenever we come back in to file the nail, we're not going to file any of that orange away. And then for the thumb, we're going to do the same thing that we did on the middle finger and the ring finger, except for we're only going to do it on the tip. And yeah, that's going to be it for this hand. Alrighty, so like I mentioned, we only did the marble on the tip with the orange and the off-white. And then for this one, we're going to do the exact same thing. We're doing the pinky just clear. We're going to do the ring finger and the middle finger with the full marble. We're going to do the index finger just all orange, and then the tip of the thumb with the same marble. So I'm going to let you watch, and then I will be back. Alrighty, so after we finish applying the acrylic, we're going to go in with the same 100 nail file, and we're just going to reshape the nails. Of course, they're already that coffin shape, but after, wearing them for 2 or 3 weeks, the corners kind of dull out. So we just have to go in and redefine the shape to make sure that it's that perfect coffin shape. But same thing, going in at a 90-degree angle from the side walls towards the tip, towards the fridge, and then filing the fridge at a 90-degree angle, and I hold my file vertically. So we're going to do that on all of the nails, and then we'll move on to the next part, which will be filing with the e-file. Alrighty, so now we're going to file the nails, and as always, I'm using the ceramic drill bit from Amazon by Pana, and I'm going to file around the cuticle area, and I did slow it down because I always have a lot of people asking me how I do this part, so I just wanted to zoom in and slow it down to my real speed. So as you can see, I go around the cuticle area, going from the right side all the way over to the left side, and then also filing the rest of the nail. But the reason why I don't just do the cuticle area all at once is because, remember, you don't want to keep your drill in one spot for too long because it's going to cause friction and it's going to cause your client's nail to burn. And then also we have to still go in and file, the rest of the nail to make sure that it's nice and smooth. So I kind of just alternate between around the cuticle area and the rest of the nail and the cuticle area. That way, we're not staying in one spot for too long. But we're going to do this on all of the nails. First, focusing around that cuticle area, just like you see me doing here. As you can see, I go exactly from the right side all the way over to the left side, going back and forth until I'm able to see where the cuticle is, where the natural nail is, and where the acrylic is. That way we don't get any lifting. And also, I know a lot of people always ask me, like, how do I prevent lifting? And honestly, y'all, lifting is not just, there's not just one thing that you can not do and then you won't get lifting. Lifting could come from not prepping the nail correctly, from not applying the correct size tips, from using your acrylic either too wet or too dry, from not filing around this cuticle area like you should. It comes from a number of things, so it's kind of just like a process of elimination. I know before, when I've gotten lifting, I just kind of have to see like what am I doing wrong, like, and so I like pay extra close attention to what I'm doing it as I'm doing it. So like whenever I'm removing the shine, I make sure that all of the shine is gone. When I apply the tips, I make sure that they fit perfectly from sidewall to sidewall. And a lot of the time is this part that people don't do right, just because, especially if you're a beginner, you're scared to file around the cuticle area like you should, because you're scared that you're going to cut someone, or you just don't know how much filing is enough filing. But that's why I always say that I file until I'm able to see where the cuticle area is, where the natural nail is, and where the acrylic is. Because once you're able to see all those three things, I feel like that's when you've sealed that cuticle area good enough. Because if not, if you leave any little gap in between the natural nail and the acrylic, you are going to get lifting, because any water, any lotion, any hair oil, any face serum, whatever you use, is going to get underneath your nail, and it's going to cause your nail to live. So that's why you have to pay extra close attention. But of course, it takes practice. This is not something that you're going to get overnight. This is not something that you're going to hear me say one time and then you're going to be able to achieve it. It takes a lot of practice, patience, and dedication. So if you're still getting lifting, don't get discouraged. Trust me, I was once in your shoes. I think we could agree that we've all been in that situation. And yes, it's frustrating. Yes, it makes you want to quit. Yes, it's embarrassing, because your clients' nails are coming off within a few days. But it's just all part of the learning process, and we just have to be patient, and it all has its own time. So I'm just going to go ahead and let you continue watching, but again, focusing around the cuticle area, and then following the rest of the nail to make sure that it's all nice and smooth. And then after this, we'll move on to the next part. Alrighty, so after we finish filing all of the nails with the e-file, we're going to go in with the buffer. And this is going to get rid of any of the scratches left on the nails from the hand file or the e-file. So make sure that you buff those nails really, really good. That way, if you apply polish or if you just do a top coat, you won't be able to see any of those scratches on your nails. And then also, so your nails just won't feel rough. Alrighty, so I dust the nails off and then wipe them off with an alcohol wipe. And then now I'm going to end with this orange gel polish by Madam Glam in the color Sun's Out. And I was going to do all orange bling on the on the pinkies. But whenever I actually grabbed the rhinestones, I noticed that I only had one size. Usually I keep like a SS6 and SS12. Well, that color I only had the SS12, and I just don't ever do like all one size of, bling on one now because you're not able to fill in those little gaps. So what I'm going to end up doing is just using my ABSS6 and SS12, and then I'm going to do a lot of the orange ones in between. And then the reason why I buffed right here is because you guys know that the gel polish is super smooth. So if I were to apply the rhinestones or the bling over the shiny gel polish, they would have came off. So I just kind of gently buff the gel polish. Of course, after it's been cured, I wipe it off and then I go in and apply the bling. So as you can see, again, I only had one color, so I went ahead and took it off, and then I'm going to go in with the ABSS6, SS12, and then I'm still going to throw in the orange ones. And I'm going to do quite a few of them, so that'll kind of be still the main color. But as you guys know that I always use two different sizes, just because you're able to fill in those gaps. If you only use one size, you are going to have like gaps in between your bling, and I don't like that, so that's why we decided to do this, which still looks super cute, really shiny. As always, I'm using the Soleil nail adhesive. I get this on her well, she has a website, but I usually go through her Instagram, which is Soleil on Instagram. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and fill in the rest of the nail. As always, I start right in the middle around the cuticle area, work my way around the perimeter of the nail, and then I come back up and then work my way down like you see me doing here. And of course, alternating between the different sizes, and also making sure that you add more glue whenever it's needed. And you'll know when you need to add more glue because the bling just won't stick to the nail. So just do that, and then after this we're going to spray the nail with the hurry up spray, which is a spray that's going to help the glue dry a lot faster because it is a thicker glue since it's a gel resin. So if we spray them with the spray, it just helps the nail or the glue dry instantly. So I definitely like that, and you can still use the Mia Secret what is it called, the Mia Secret resin activator, gel resin activator. But the reason why I stopped using that one is because the smell is so strong for me that sometimes like it literally would make my eyes burn. Like that's how strong it was. And with the spray, is it really, I mean, it has a scent to it, but it's not super strong. And then after that, we're going to apply some bling around the cuticle area on this thumb. So we're just going to do the ABSS6, SS12, and then some orange ones in there as well. After this, we're going to spray this thumb as well with the hurry up spray. And then we're going to apply the Madam Glam gel top coat. As always, I do have a Madam Glam promo code, so I will be sure to leave that information down below for you guys as well. And then don't forget that on every first Sunday of the month, I go live either on their YouTube or their Instagram, and I always give away whatever collection I'm reviewing or swatching. I always give it away. This time is going to be July 5th at 12 Eastern time. I'm going to be going live on their Instagram page, and I'm going to be giving away the collection, and you don't want to miss out because it is their 6-year anniversary. So the collection is super cute, y'all. Like when I opened it the other day, I was like, oh my god, because it's so different, and you guys are gonna see it whenever I swatch it. So again, make sure that you go check me out on their Instagram page. I'm gonna be going live, and again, that was July 5th at 12 Eastern time. But anyway, same thing for this other hand. We're gonna go ahead and wipe the little sticky layer off the orange, which is gel polish, and then I'm gonna go ahead and wipe it off again, and then we're gonna go in with the Soleil nail adhesive and then the bling, and then spray with the activator spray, and then we're gonna do the top coat. Alrighty, y'all. So here is the final look. As you can see, they turned out really pretty. The colors are so bright, and I just love this length. So as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at GetNail32, and I will see you guys next time.